Alright guys, it's time to clean some ducks. First thing you're going to need is a box, because it'll make your neighbors happy. That way feathers aren't going everywhere. I mean, thankfully we have snow to kind of blend all our feathers in, but I'm going to light this heater. Not because my hands are cold, but you'll see in a second why we need this. We shot a limited ducks the other day, nice mixed bag. What we got here, we're going to do 2 videos on this. We've got the golden eye, which most people, a lot of people, will say trash duck. If you look up on any of the Facebook pages or forums, people say cool duck, throw it in the garbage. I think you're wrong. Here we have a handful of puddle ducks, got a couple gadwall and widgeon, and the infamous shoveler. Supposedly these taste terrible. Now I've cleaned and cooked a bunch of them and I would disagree, but so much of it is in the preparation. We're going to cook all these the same way, and I just need, for this recipe, I just need the duck breast. We can keep the legs separate, we'll do a separate cooking thing for those, but I just need duck breast. So here's our duck box, our feather box, so it doesn't end up in the neighbor's yard. You know, we don't need to pick up too much, but that's over there. Got some good fat. I'm just gonna go through and pick them all quick, just enough so I can get a knife on them. Now a lot of recipes we'd keep the skin on for cooking purposes, but for this specific one, we need the skin off. You can even see the difference of fat on gadwall, the coloring. Now how I like to breast out the duck, a lot of guys will fillet the fat off first. I'll just cut it with the skin on real quick, right along the breastbone. Okay, and you can just almost just peel that off. See how, especially those really fatty guys. And just fillet it almost like a fish. That's your gadwall breast right there. Go in the pot. It's got a little back strap here. We'll take out. Okay, let's do the shoveler. Not much bigger than a teal, honestly. There can be a ton of meat on there. I just almost just pull it off. Just like that. I have a new hat, but it says old hat. So I don't know what to think about that, but I think it's kind of cool. What do you think? Got the Idaho license plate. Just trying out something new. Not for sale yet, but hey, first time I wore it, I wore it in the Boise River, and I caught my biggest fish ever on the Boise. 27-inch steelhead and a 23.5-inch rainbow. So I decided to keep it. I mean, this peels off so easy when you do it this way, especially if it's warm. I age these birds a day. A lot of time, if the temperature is right, I'll age these birds. I'll lay them in the garage, breast up, not breast down, unless they're gut shot. Breast up. But it's supposed to get cold below 0, so I didn't want them to freeze solid. And we want to eat them tomorrow. Alright, rinsing is important, but some of these guys that are shot up, really want to make sure you get feathers out of there, because that could be a big reason why you don't like duck. I'll even take a knife over each hole, dig in there a little bit, scrape it out. Alright, you get one shot up like this, you really want to get that blood spoil right there. I just bring over the cutting board here, do some scraping. You just don't want that on there. That can taste good. Okay, I don't know exactly what we call this meal, but it's a combination of Salisbury steak, Swiss steak, but it's tenderized duck and potatoes in a gravy. And We used to make it with venison. My mom used to make it with venison back in the day. I thought, you know what, I bet you that'd be good with duck. So we take our duck. Let me get you a duck breast here. Actually, that's a good size. If it's a little bit thicker, like this one, I'm just going to try to fillet it in half, cut it in half like this. And the reason being is because we're going to tenderize this, and it's going to make it, it's going to expand, and needs to fit in the pot. So just kind of cut it in half, like that. When you go to tenderize a fat piece like this, it's just not going to tenderize as well, and it's just going to make a big mess. But also, like the thin, crispy pieces of meat that we're going to make here in a second, it's just easier with a thinner piece of meat. Okay, let's get a scoop of flour. Just bring that down here, and then I get some pepper. How much pepper, you ask? About that much. The cleaning is out of the way. Take your little thin piece of duck meat. Just gonna pat it down. Get it about like this. And you don't want to start hitting this when there's a big pile of flour there, otherwise you make a big mess. But just take this and get it back in the flour. So you can see that thin piece is already expanded in size here. That's probably good. That one. Okay. Okay. Get your favorite cast iron pot. Guess it doesn't have to be cast iron, but cast iron helps. I'm gonna have a little bit of avocado oil. Use oil of your choice. We're going to put it on the stove. Then about a little bit more than medium. Let that heat up. Then we're gonna brown our duck. Brown means basically we're gonna get it crispy on both sides. Let it cool. We're not even cooking it through. Crispy, crispy, cool. And then we're gonna make our gravy mix and let it simmer for a few hours. Slow cook it for 2 to 3 hours. And actually, we're not gonna eat this till tomorrow night. I'm gonna throw it on the porch where it's nice and cool. And then tomorrow, when everybody's ready to eat, I'll just heat it up in the gravy, in the broth and everything. My wife will make mashed potatoes, and we'll just have mashed potatoes, slow cooked, tender duck that you can cut with a spoon. I'm so happy. Our oil is hot. We're gonna take our tenderized duck, lay it here in the cast iron. A couple minutes on each side until it's nice and crispy. Smells really yummy. Okay, once you start seeing some blood coming out like that, that's a good sign to flip it. Just gonna make sure it's crispy. There's not still flour residue. Okay. This is done for now. Now feel it with your fork. Crispy. You just don't want to cook it thoroughly in here because we want to slow cook it here in just a few minutes. It's actually not the oil. It's actually my taste buds cheering for the moment that I get to eat this. They're applauding. I know you're going to be tempted just to cook it thoroughly and eat it just like this, which you could. I would cook it a little bit more because it's still raw in the middle. Okay, next step is we're going to get beef bouillon or something like this, which is called Better Than Bouillon. And it looks like this on the inside. Smells amazing. And what it says is 1 teaspoon of this bouillon, Better Than Bouillon, and 8 ounces of water. So you do the math, however much water you need. I'm gonna probably do at least triple that. So maybe 24 ounces of water, 3 teaspoons of this stuff. So I gotta get the water in here quick. Okay. Oh, it's spilling water everywhere. Put our water in the pot. Try to get it in the pot. What you're seeing there, the particles, is just from browning the duck, which it's okay to leave in there. Put it back on here, and we're gonna get this boiling, and then we'll add the bouillon. Okay, we're boiling. I'm gonna take a scoop of this bouillon and just stir it in. It'll dissolve in that boiling water. Okay, we're almost done, guys. We got the bouillon dissolved in there. We got the duck tenderized and browned. Now we're gonna turn the heat down to low, medium low. You just want a slow bubble. We're gonna put all the meat in here and just gonna slow cook it for 2 hours for starters. And it'll thicken up from the flour on the meat and the bouillon. Start to make a little bit of a gravy. Everybody in the house will be hungry because they smell it. Okay, so low, medium, low. My lid is here, but I leave it crack about like that. I don't know why. That's what my mom always did, and that way I can come over and peek at it. All right, now that cooks for about 2 hours, and that's all I got. You guys, I guess, just sit back, relax. We'll be back soon. All right, guys, we are ready to eat. We let this sit overnight. You don't have to let it sit overnight, but we weren't gonna eat till today. So this is what it looks like. We add a little bit of gravy, stretch it a little bit. That look good. Can you smell that? Seasoned to taste. I'm gonna scoop some up here for Indy.
You know, it's a really great time to break some of their fast fires when you're on a trip and super tired and you're
Some bonus mushrooms on the side.
That's when people lose their pacifiers.
Alright. That's our final. Oh, looks like good comfort food, doesn't it?
Oh, his pacifier goes.
Salisbury duck. That's our name.